Now, welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
All right, so first piece of news we're going to talk about today. Besman Bullet is reporting that Lars Mikkelsen is going to be playing Thrawn in the Ahsoka series. This is a rumor.
Big rumor.
Big rumor.
I've seen no major outlets picking it up, other than a couple saying that the rumors are there.
There are some segueing out to say that there is a rumor out there.
Yeah.
I think Besman Bullet also went on to say that he's going to be wearing the outfit he's wearing in Rebels, that exact one, and that he was seen in it or something. I don't know.
I mean, if true, and that's a big if, that is incredible news, because I think he is, with that voice, kind of become Grand Admiral Thrawn. That voice, I think, is just already kind of iconic from Rebels. I think it's perfect for Thrawn, so it would be kind of a shame if we had to find somebody else.
I agree. I mean, it's always lovely, with Katie Sackhoff, that you got to bring over the voice into the show. And I see no reason why they can't figure out how to do that for Lars Mikkelsen to make him Thrawn, unless he doesn't have interest in it.
Just lather him with blue paint. It'll be fine.
Stop blue paint.
It's not like they've done, look at some of their previous makeup jobs. It's not like they're going to put all much effort into it anyway. Look at the Grand Inquisitor. I'm kind of kidding.
This is a Filoni project, though. It'll tell more reference.
Oh, are you saying Filoni would have made a better looking Grand Inquisitor?
Probably.
But in all seriousness, I'm sure it's not as hard, I would say, to put blue paint on and red eyes.
Well, do some prosthetics, obviously, to get more of that squared off features, hopefully.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I would be forgiving of that. I mean, as long as it's not a Cad Bane showing up in Boba Fett and having this kind of puffy looking face. I don't know what was up with that. But no, I mean, I think Thrawn will absolutely be in the Ahsoka series. I think he's going to be kind of the big antagonist of the whole time period with the Mandalorian. I think we're going to lead to bigger things. We're going to kind of, I wouldn't say redo the Thrawn trilogy. I think you'll see some small elements
of the
original EU Thrawn trilogy.
Branch into him becoming the premier villain for the Disney Plus series.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's going to be our
not just Ahsoka, but for Mandalorian, maybe Book of Boba Fett, whatever crossover they might.
Skeleton Crew. Yeah. Going into potentially wild space or the unknown regions, and maybe running into the Chiss. And we've had now 2 trilogies in the new canon with Thrawn that have set up a lot of really interesting things. And so it only makes sense that he is going to be a huge part. He's also beloved from the EU, let's be honest. He's one of the coolest characters from the EU. It only makes sense. There's absolutely no way he's not going to show up eventually. We've had him name dropped in The Mandalorian, by Ahsoka. It all adds up. The only question is who is going to play him. And I'm assuming, again, that voice it is the perfect voice for Thrawn, at least in my opinion. You can, of course, disagree, but I think that is, when I think Thrawn now, that's the voice I hear whenever I go back and read the old Heir to the Empire. Now I hear that voice in my head as Thrawn, so yeah, as long as they can get him, I think he's said before he's willing to do it.
I still think he should show up in Andor. I really liked your theory on that.
I think that is the perfect place to introduce him, even if it's just an episode or two, just to set him up.
Even if he doesn't discover the rebellion, just to have him put that fear in them, you know?
Oh, yeah.
To walk into the art gallery and...
Oh, that would be... the dream come true would be him and Luthen, because I've already liked Luthen.
Oh, yeah.
Luthen's already a great character.
Great.
And him kind of this, battle of the wits between Thrawn and Luthen in that shop and talking about art. And you can see Thrawn is trying to feel him out, saying how much he actually knows, how legit he is. I think that could be the best scene in a long time in Star Wars.
It really could.
But yeah, Thrawn and Ahsoka, I think it's guaranteed. Is it going to be Lars Mikkelsen? Hopefully this is truth. And if it's not truth, hopefully it ends up being that way anyway.
I agree 100%. All right, let's move on to the next topic I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to talk about what we think for predictions for tomorrow mornings, depending on how you look at it, time and stuff. The Andor, specifically the Aldhani mission that they're on.
Yeah.
So this is going to contain spoilers for everything Andor up to this point, just specifically episodes 4 and 5.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to predict who's going to live, who's going to die on this mission, right?
Well, one thing I want to talk about is the stakes of this mission, how much more real this feels than other daring missions that we've seen in this Disney era.
It feels more real, I think, than, say, a show like Rebels, because we knew no one from the Rebels team is ever going to die in one of these missions, or there's a small chance maybe they would kill off a character in the Rebels crew, but this, anybody but Andor can die.
Well, and they've shown us in this show, the Empire, very competent.
Yeah.
I mean, Andor's going into this show, he almost feels like he's walking into a trap already. The fact that he gets to this place, not only does he seem more prepared than everybody, despite the fact that he is just walking in. Yeah. He gets to see the, pardon my words here, incompetence of the rest of his team.
Yeah, well,
he's
they've never done anything
correcting
like this.
them. This is how you hold your gun. No, this is how you walk. You should be on this side when you're walking. This is how you should do this. He's constantly correcting them. And then we get to the major break that worried me. They didn't know about the clutch,
they didn't know anything
load
about
clutch
the ship, yeah.
on the ship that they're supposed to fly out.
Yeah, that's why they need him, because they have no idea how to get that ship out
right,
of there.
Right, like even Andor said, how are you going to do this without me? We'll figure it out. This isn't, I mean, if this was regular, like, Disney mission, they would have figured out. They would stumble in there. They would have just
like, oh, yeah, we got out, no problem. That's what I'm saying. That's the big difference.
They would stumble in there. They could probably trip and fall along the way, and the Empire wouldn't bat an eye to their marching and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they'd walk on that ship. They'd somehow know exactly everything what to do, and the show has set up that they're not prepared.
Yeah. I mean, that ship's not going to be on its rails. We already know.
We know
I mean, that's almost a little too obvious, but
I think whoever...
We'll watch it be on the rails just because.
No, I think whoever is showing up, because we know that the base was preparing for some bigwig to come, possibly like an inspection or something of the like. Whoever shows up is going to walk into that bay and go, why is this on its rails? It's only supposed to be on its rail when you're leaving.
Yeah.
And they're going to take it off the rail.
Yeah. I liked your prediction that it could be a Krennic or something like that, even though I don't know that would happen, but
it would just
I like
be interesting.
Yeah. Again, that might be too fan servicey for Tony Gilroy.
You're probably right.
Yeah, because it really, I mean, it could be... Why would Krennic...
I can understand Krennic showing up because they're talking about how the area that they're going to be is going to be used for Imperial mining.
Yeah.
So which could lead to possibly projects he is working on.
Project Stardust,
yes. But if they don't send him, they'll, whoever shows up might know the procedure and be like, why is this up there?
Yeah.
And they'll take it down. And we have to remember... They kept saying they have like 9 minutes to get this thing loaded and out.
Yeah.
And if it's not on the rails, it's going to cost them quite a bit of time.
Yes, I mean, we know something's going to go wrong. It's not going to go smoothly. Mm-hmm. And so that brings us to who lives, who dies. I think all of them save Andor could potentially die, but I don't think that will be the case.
You want to start with Arvel Skeen?
Arvel Skeen, he's going to live.
You think he's going to live?
Yes, because he's been set up as a sort of conflict for Andor, someone who could show up later and give him grief for the mission that went wrong and they got all his friends killed. I'd almost guarantee you, if I had to pick one that's going to live, it would be Skeen.
Really? I think Skeen's gone.
Nope, he's going to live.
All right, let's move on to the kid. The
kid is as good as dead.
No, he's sold for the cause. He's going to martyr himself.
There is no way that kid dies, and that's going to help drive Skeen's anger towards Andor.
I think you're... Okay.
It seems
You've
a little
swayed me.
Yeah, it seems a little too cliche, perhaps, but... Just because this is a very well written show, in my opinion, doesn't mean you won't go to some cliche here and there. But yes, the kid dies. Skeen is angry and blames Cassian. Skeen might even be left behind, and eventually get away from the Empire and show up later. That's my guess.
Well, he could even kind of put Andor more on the Empire's radar.
Yeah, he could help.
If he's one of the only ones who survives in this group, he could roll on him and be like, it was all this guy named Andor.
Yeah. Yeah, we could even
him.
see the episode end with, Skeen being approached by Deidre or something like, what happened here? Not that it's probably not her sector, but, who knows?
We don't know. It might
something
be.
like that. She could overstep her jurisdiction, too.
What about Cinta?
That's a tough one, because Cinta seems to be teased as an interest to Andor, even though I think she's already with Vel.
Yeah, she is with Vel.
Yeah.
You could tell.
Well, I mean, absolutely, yeah. But there's this weird, Cassian seems to be, or at least Skeen thinks somebody thinks she's interested in her.
Maybe he is a little interested in her, but
I don't think it matters.
Doesn't matter because she's not making it.
Yeah, I don't know if he is as much as some of them think he might be, and they kind of said she already shares a blanket, so I think she's going to die.
No, I'm pretty sure she's dead.
Yeah.
As much as I don't like to say it, I think she's not making it.
Yes.
I honestly think this whole mission might turn out to be a flop, and Andor's just going to escape by himself. I think he might abandon them and turn and run.
Yes, that's
which will lead to the rest of them dying or getting captured. That's my guess. I think he turns and runs. He's got no investment in this cause. If he sees it failing, I think he takes a tie and he gets out of there or whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm anticipating. Like I said, Skeen is going to live and eventually come back later. And I think Lieutenant Gorn next.
Yeah, let's go with Lieutenant Gorn.
Lieutenant Gorn lives as well and is captured.
You think he rolls on the Empire? Or do you
I think he rolls.
You think somebody figures him out?
Perhaps, yeah. I think he's going to... Well, that's an interesting question. Maybe he doesn't get outed.
Maybe.
I mean, he does have a strong alibi with the whole light show.
Unless Skeen rolls on him, too, if Skeen gets captured.
He could, yeah. I think Gordon's going to survive.
What about Tarman?
Tarman's dead.
Tarman is dead.
That's all I got on Tarman. He's kind of hasn't...
Do you know that he used to be a stormtrooper?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he actually defected from the Empire.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's why he's probably teaching them how to march and stuff.
He is trying.
Yeah. No, I think Tarman, he's been the least developed, I think, of the kind of... Well, maybe not. It's hard to say. Cinta hasn't really been developed either. She's kind of a mystery. It's really been Skeen.
It has been a lot of Skeen.
Yeah. So, but I think he's dead. I think Vel is going to...
Vel makes it.
Vel is going to make it as long as Cinta dies. It's one or the other, I think.
Mm. Okay. Well, I think Vel is like a hardcore survivor. I think she's gonna make it out of there.
I do too. I think Vel survives. I think Cinta will probably not survive then. Mm-hmm. And speaking of Skeen, should we discuss his tattoos? I've seen a lot of...
There's been a lot of speculation on his tattoos. Really digging in. I think some of them at least are prison.
I think the one
tats.
That's kind of like a barcode is kind of something you get tattooed when you're in prison. In Star Wars, obviously not in our real world, but...
Well, I think
and then
the barcode one is prison. But I also think he used to be a soldier of some kind. I don't know during which war
like the Clone Wars, right?
He does look rather...
I mean, he's got to be in his 40s.
A little bit older. So I think one of them could possibly be a... Like, maybe he fought on the wrong side. Maybe he was a separatist and he ended up in prison.
That would make a lot of sense.
So he got, tattoos from his regiment, his unit in the war, and then turned around and ended up with prison tattoos.
Yeah. I think that makes a lot of sense.
I think it does make sense. I think everything about him kind of reads that to me.
Yeah. Yeah. War, prison. I mean, he's not a good dude, is the impression.
And he doesn't trust people. He kind of gleans when people are hiding stuff. It's all very, all traits that he may have developed in doing hard times, things that helped keep him alive in there.
Yeah. You got to develop a thick skin and, a general mistrust of pretty much everybody, I'd imagine.
All right, then Andor. Is he going to make
Oh, no, Andor dies. And then he's cloned, and that's the Andor we see. That's going to be the big twist. I'm absolutely kidding. That's not happening. Andor obviously lives, and there will be no cloning in the show. Well, I don't know, maybe there'll be cloning in the show, but it won't be of Andor.
There might be clones in the show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. we know, actually, they're supposed to be clones at some point. We've seen them, so. Mm-hmm. But no, Andor lives, and I like your kind of idea that he might kind of turn and leave them.
He might run.
Yeah. Just whether or not that's because he's total fear or maybe just incompetence out of the team.
Or else they've just failed and they've been mowed down and he's now in survival mode.
Yeah, I definitely think he is going to kind of run.
I mean, as Arvel has pointed out there, his motivation isn't the same as theirs.
No,
they all have revenge and righteous cause and such on their side. He has money.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't have the same stories.
Yes, the money is super important to him. He cannot go home without paying those debts.
Yeah, and even still, I don't think he's going home. I mean, he knows the Empire's after him. He knows he's wanted for murder, and he's wanted for even more murder after, the escape. So I don't think he's ever going... I mean, he might try to go home, and I think he's going to, contact his mom. And
I think he tries to go home at one point.
Eventually gets emo, whatever the choice name. B2 emo. Okay.
It's B.
I think eventually he ends up with Andor and becomes K2. We've talked about that prediction too. But yeah, that's my thoughts. It's my predictions. You can all predict who lives and who dies in the comments below as well. I think it'll be interesting to see.
Get your bingo card ready.
Yeah, we'll see you. But anyway, that's all we got for you this time. So take to the comments below, give us those predictions, or tell us what you think about Thrawn. Do you believe this is happening with Lars Mikkelsen, that he is coming back to be live action Thrawn, and is that what you want to see? Do you think he has kind of become the Thrawn at this point? Whatever the case may be, leave your comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars, and until next time, thanks for watching.